Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Greg K6EGG live stream. A very special morning edition. If you see I'm a little flushed, I tried part 2 of putting in my grounding rod. Dana N7UFT was nice enough to come over and give me a hand with it this morning. Everybody's like, you just need a drill, and that thing will go right in like butter. You'll have it in like 5 minutes tops. Oh, yeah. Keep in mind, California, decomposed granite. Let me explain how decomposed granite is. It's basically like cement without a couple of the chemicals. So it's broken up rock. When you put water in it, it turns into like slush, basically, like normal mud. And then it dries and it bonds together. It turns into a very hard substance. The other thing is with decomposed rock, you get boulders and other things that are mixed in with the soil. So it's not like, being in the South where you get a lot of saturated rain, whatever else. Everybody kept on saying, I should have done this. I should have done that. Well, I got the drill, and it didn't work. So, Jeff AGI, nice to see you in there. Joe, I'm also on FT8 right now, 20 meters, which doesn't seem to be happening too much right now. Not a lot of stuff. I see a Samoa on there. I also got, over the last couple days since I last been on, I got my Masters of... my fake awards from QRZ, my Masters of North America and Masters of South America on digital an FT8 there. So fake ham radio for you. And right now, I was hoping that Sam would be in here so he can talk. I don't see him in here, but we have a special guest today, and it won't be popping in here. It's not either of these two guys. And Seth, you can jump in. I thought you'd be working today. What's up, Mark? Good morning. Got a special guest in studio. Ooh, that looked weird. I gotta fix that. He was helping me with the with putting in the grounding rod. Oh, it'll take 5 minutes. I got a drill for that. Here's Dana N7UFT in the house. Yes, and by the way, I am wearing a draft shirt. I hope that doesn't make me a bad guy. Welcome aboard, Dana. You may want to scoot a little closer so we can see you a little bit better.
All right.
And
howdy y'all. How you all doing?
Yeah, that's Dana right there. Yep. That's Seth. He's got his Isles fan thing going right now.
I see that.
But yeah, we tried for a solid hour.
Yep.
About an hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
A lot of it was actually prepping it, but could not get it in. What's up, Steve? And yeah, an early one. I actually got up at 7 this morning after getting off work last night after 10. Could not get that baby in. Try to get on SonoBus if you can there, Seth. Would love to hear you on there. So yeah, what's up?
We had a hammer drill. We had the right bit. I've been doing this for years, and I can tell you guys, it's not my first rodeo doing a ground rod, and this one's got me spooked a little bit. What the heck's underneath his ground?
Dead body, maybe?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
A boat? I don't know. But
you were sitting there using a shovel, and you hit something really hard, so who knows what he's got buried in his backyard.
What? You can't jump. Work is for suckers. By the way, 20 meters sucks right now. He doesn't have his Mac.
That
We
sounds
check
like
17.
a sad ham. Sounds like a sad ham.
It does sound like a sad ham. My father and I are watching my father. Oh, there you go.
Well,
so we
hello. How are you?
And I decided to stall a little bit, and I showed Dana my setup here because I was literally dripping sweat. Both of us were dripping sweat. And it's not even that hot. It's in probably high 70s right now. It's not even the 80s yet. It's not that humid. And both of us were trying to work that thing in and just couldn't get it in. Look at this. 20 is completely dead right now.
Nothing.
Nothing right now. Let me go back here. What was that there? Oh, Steve, yeah. It's been a while, hasn't it? I passed my test in April. Was it 15th? It's tax day here in the United States. Actually, it wasn't tax day that day because it was a weekend, but it was the Monday after. But yeah, passed it. I took it in the bathroom at work. past that baby. Already got a bunch of stuff on. Let me double check something here. Oh, it's Seth there. Passed it in a bathroom at work, and I don't know, about a week later, got a Icom 7300, and then the second one after that, which are sitting over there, by the way. I don't know if you saw those when you walked in there. But nonetheless, we got Dana N7 UFT. I don't know why I just hit that screen. I was showing him the Geochron earlier. Doesn't look like we're basically almost 10 o'clock in the morning here, and the bands are poo-poo right now, which kind of sucks. But Steve, would love to work you on HF or anything like that. Yeah, a guest in person. How often do you have a guest in person in their normal ham shack?
That's true.
I did watch K8 MRD's Dana Crowley FT8 extravaganza last night. It was pretty fun. I made contacts with both those guys on, was it April 16th or 15th? I thought it was the 15th. I'll have to look on my QRZ because that's when I think I put it on there. No, it's the 15th. I think I took it the 15th. I'll double check because I know it was a Saturday. I'll look on my notes here. Yeah, April 15th, a Saturday.
Wow.
And here is, I got the Masters of North and South America there. Andy is everywhere. He wasn't on last night. Apparently he doesn't like FT8, so it was a little bit of trolling there. But this right here, I could have done with help without Scott, Seth, all those guys. He knew I'd like, Seth and Scott knew I'd like FT8 because I get pretty busy. I normally remote into my computer so I can play some ham radio because I'm at work a lot. You know how that works out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I work odd hours, so I do have some downtime. I get lucky. But getting back to that grounding rod, holy crap. I'm going to put together another video, hopefully if I get some time at work this afternoon, tonight, put it up tonight, and I'll show you what we went through. It was just a lot of hard stuff, and I actually got further last time with no drill.
Yeah.
And I was toast after. You could probably see why I was toast after.
Yeah, definitely.
I worked it hard. It just was very, very difficult to get through. So got Dana in the shack after. I'm gonna take him to lunch here in a little bit. We're gonna have some Mongolian over in Eastvale, California, which is east of me. Then I'm gonna head off to work after that. Maybe take a shower in between because I can really use it right now.
He can, believe me.
Yeah. The other thing is, I was showing Dana because he was thinking about getting he's actively looking for a 7610.
Yes, I am.
Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, I remember I ran another state. Okay, yep. So, California, something's laughing because he has to deal with sand up there where he lives. FT8 bite. FT8 me a bite.
Hey, Mark.
You out of here? A bite? Anyways, there's a little guide that Jim sent me from Ham Radios, or Coffee and Ham Radios, with my radio, which was very nice of him. So I keep this right here if I need to go into something, and I kind of play with it a little bit. But most of the time, I get on live, and then I can show you guys me fumbling through everything. But it sounds pretty decent. I do like it, no doubt. So I'm looking forward to Dana having some fun with it. It's definitely like a Cadillac or a BMW.
It's a beautiful radio.
Of radios. It's not a flex. I like to have physical radios there. You just, I just got. Why do you want to part? You might part with it. And Greg is safe. Greg, if you want to jump in SonoBus, by the way. What? You see, I got everybody commenting on everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to being on. Don't switch. Being on the live stream there. Looks like I got a few messages there. I'll get to something with SonoBus. I need to change something so Greg can get in. Then you can see how clear the SonoBus sounds in your head.
Okay.
So just doing a little bit of a quick live stream here with Dana and 7UFT, and I just made a contact with KK7KSC, which I'll see where that sounds familiar. Oh? You'll have to tell us why you want to get rid of that 7610. I knew that looked familiar. He's up in Oregon. Oregon.
I made about 4 contacts with Oregon on the satellites last night.
And it's funny, I heard you on the ISS the other day. Well, I heard you on the input, I should say.
Input, yeah.
I have Mac Doppler set up. What program do you use?
I use SAT. It's a little box that comes with the rotor control.
Okay.
But it works perfect for yours too, but it's excellent because it controls the radio, the frequency, everything. The Doppler shift, it's fantastic.
Mac Doppler does that as well, but I don't think that works with, it's a PC-only program, if I'm correct?
No.
No?
Nope. It's not.
Is it free?
No, you have to pay for it.
And what's this thing called?
SAT.
If I look at the Mac store right now, it'll probably give me like 4 million different SAT.
Well, it's a piece of hardware with the software.
Oh. I'll have to look that up probably later.
That's one thing I'm trying to get Greg into is doing some satellite work because the birds are dying like crazy. We had 4 more deorbit this week, but they have the Tebble. They have new Tebble satellites that everybody should try. I really think Greg needs to expand his horizons. He could do it real easy. And now that it's live, he can't deny that I mentioned it to him.
You want a 7851?
What is a 7851?
I think that's actually an older Icom radio that's better than, or not better, but different. It's 200 watts. It's not an all band. I think it's 160 through 6, I think. Yeah, the 20 meters is blowing right now. It's blowing chunks. But let me, while I'm on here waiting for Greg, I can always get on the Pi-Star, and the other thing is I control my Pi-Star on my phone through this app right here. Oh, I think I just heard somebody in there.
Good point. You're right, Seth. You're right. And to think he had to do it in the bathroom to finally get it.
I work satellite. I talked to you on the ISS, right?
You did one time. Yes, you did.
It's the 7610's big brother, but it doesn't have a video out. What's up with that? How can it be a big brother and have less stuff? But I think it does 200 watts if I'm correct. So why don't we get on 30 Charlie here real quick while...
Link to REF030 Charlie.
I'll just tell you, group is GCP. It's private group, and it's my call letters uppercase. What's this? Now you get to hear some delays. This is Greg, K6EGG on reflector 30 Charlie. This is Greg. Oh, that was weird. Just want to get on 30 Charlie, Greg. Greg with 1G comes in. Greg, you in there?
Yeah, you got me.
Oh, yeah. See, he sounds like he's in here, doesn't he?
Yeah, sure does. Sounds awesome. Hey, Greg.
Can you hear Dana?
Yes, I can. How's that?
Excellent. You got it going good right now. I know last time we had some little bit of feedback issues, but you got it going. So tell me,
course. Since
I have you on,
yes,
and
sir.
This is going to be guest day here. We got Dana in here because he's thinking about getting a 7610. You don't like the 7610, or you just want something that has some more options than the 7610?
Well, I really like the 7610. However, I have a 7800, and hanging out with Ray Novak for a little bit from Icom and playing with the 7851, that is really drawing me in. If you look at the 7800 and the 7610, or actually I should say the 7851, the 7851 has the linear stuff on it, so a little bit better filtering other than using like your DSP and your software-defined stuff. But I like the 200 watts of power. That's why I like the 7851 a little bit better.
How many roofing filters does it have?
I think it has like 4, I think. Okay. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I can pull up the specs of it, and I can more than likely get that to you.
Yeah, I'd just be curious to know how many roofing filters it had versus the 7610.
Okay.
That looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the 7800. When you look at the 7800 and the 7851,
oh my God,
they took the same display that's in the 7610 and they put that in the 7851. The only difference is you do not have, as far as I understand, you don't have touchscreen on the 7851 like you do on the 7610, but it's essentially the same display.
Interesting.
And how much of it is DSP versus, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Some of it's SDR and some of it's not, right?
Yeah, so the 7610, I believe, is mostly SDR. The 7851 still has the linear filtering and everything else that the 7800 is. So there's only a few changes between the 7800 and the 7851. I'm bringing up the spec sheets right now.
And I have some photos I have a picture online right now of it. So you don't need a power supply, it looks like.
No, the 7800 and the 7851 have the built-in power supplies in them.
$14,000 though. Holy
darn.
Jeez.
Yeah, if you look on, I looked on eHam and QRZ for some used ones, and at one point I found some for as low as like $8,500 to $9,000.
And this is a 200 watt, you said?
Yes.
That's a nice looking radio, though. You got 4 antenna outputs. What?
Mm-hmm.
Is it all band or it's just HF, right?
Yeah, HF through 6.
So what? 160 through 6?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and which is nice because you have those 4 antenna ports and so on the front of it. So if you notice on the 7610, you can hit the button and go between antenna 1 and 2. Now you've doubled that on the 7800 and the 7851. And with that, it gives you to where you can run 4 separate transmit antennas. Plus, you have some ports for some receive-only antennas, too. So you can run your sub-band where you can select between your 4 transmit antennas.
What kind of isolation do you have between the ports? Does it say in the specs?
Yeah, I'm grabbing it. They just updated their site. It used to be the same for like years, and now they update it, so I've got to navigate it. 7851 right there.
That's a nice so if the 7610 is a Cadillac, what would this be, a Ferrari?
Yeah. Well, if you go back into Icom's history, when they came out early 2000s with the 7800, that was considered their flagship radio, Icom's best amateur radio that you could get. And at that time, it was like 10,000, 10,005. And then about mid-2000s, it went up to about 12,000, 12,500. And then now it's just a little bit more because of the cost of stuff. But that was their flagship radio. And I remember walking into Ham Radio Outlet 2002 or 3, and I talked to a buddy of mine, and I said, "Who can afford that?" And he goes, "You'll be surprised."
That's like 3, 4 7610s.
Yeah.
That's a lot of radio right there.
Greg's got 2 VIPs in the room now.
Actually, I think is there a cat in here? He was. Milo made a. What's up, Ryan? Nice to see you in there. We're just talking Icom 7851. Obviously out of my price range. Nice radio. Now, Greg, you have a Flex right now and the 7610.
I have the 7800, the 7610, the 7800. I got to email you a picture of my ham desk, because sitting on my desk, I have the 7800, a 7700, the 7610, the 7200, a 9100 and 9700,
Okay,
and
take
those
care.
are just sitting just on my desk alone.
That's a lot of. Are they all in working mode right now?
Oh yeah, I have a Alpha Delta multi-port antenna switch, so I can switch between each one that I want to. So I can move them, and then the 9100 and the 9700 are on its own switch, so I can switch between the UHF, VHF, and the 1.2 gig. I can switch those, but then on the main HF switch, I can switch to either one of the radios that I want to switch to for HF, and then the same thing with the other, with the 2 440 and 1.2. I can just move it.
And you don't have any problems with the AB switch to do that?
The what?
The Delta switch, because I just got one and I'm having a little bit of an issue when it's for all three for VHF, 70 centimeters, 2 meters, and 6 meters, and I can't seem to use it on the 6 meters, and I can't figure out why for my FT8
I've never had any problem with them. The switches that I have, or I can use them on either band, and I have before. I have one that actually has end connectors on it, so I bought one of the ones for end connectors so I could do the 1.2 gig.
Right.
And then the 440, but usually I run a dual band antenna for the 2 and 440. I
Right.
run a Diamond X500,
Okay.
and then that's what I use for that one. That way I don't have to deal with duplexers. However, I do have a duplexer on these to combine them into one antenna rather than having them individually.
Okay, yeah, because I have a GP15, and so I can do all three also, but for some reason I can't use it with my 991 on 6 meters.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't have the downloadable spec sheet like they used to on their old site. So I'm kind of looking at the 7051. And it was saying competitive advantage of reciprocal mixing dynamic range
Okay.
at 110 dB raising the bar. And then they have a little graph here, 110 at 1K, 2K 116, 10 kilohertz is 121, and 20 kilohertz 124, compared to the 7800, which is what I have, at 1K at 78, 2K at 87, 10 kilohertz at 106, and 20 at 112. So, and then they have the 1.2 kilohertz optimum roofing filter. And then they show the local oscillator, so your LO design. You should actually check it out, IcomAmerica.com, and it will show you there under the products there. It's really impressive.
Yeah, Greg was bringing some stuff up. I think he's on DX Engineering now. But yeah, I'll have to. I'm still interested in the 7610 because like I say, I'm sitting here seeing it and watching it. It's very impressive, and for right now, that would work good for me.
Yeah, I got mine used from a ham in Central California. I paid $2,400 for it,
Pretty good.
which wasn't bad.
You paid $2,400 for your 7610?
Yeah,
That's a pretty good
and
price.
he even delivered it because I went to my mom's house because I had to go take care of her that weekend, and he drove it all the way up from Central California to Sacramento to drop it off to me.
Nice.
But I tell you what, this looks really nice.
That's your next radio, Greg.
No, 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 14,000. No,
Now, actually, if you look, you can find them used between 8 and 10,000, depending on who has it.
are you related to Scott down in Bakersfield?
No.
Okay, because he likes to spend my money.
And Greg spends mine, so it kind of evens out.
Yeah.
I still have a couple radios I need to get rid of to pay off the 7610 I have right here, which you guys can see in the screen here. I'm working FT8. Who did I just worked somebody here? Who was that? Was that Shane? I think that was Shane I just worked. Welcome aboard, Shane. I put his mug up on the screen here. And 20 meters sucks right now. Let me go back here. Sorry, I'm not used to having guests here, so I'm a little bit out of it. All right, Danny, if you want to pay for it, I'm good with it. I'm just kidding, by the way. Anybody, don't send me any more radios. I got enough stuff I need to get rid of. I almost got burned on eBay. I sold a microphone, and I put lower 48 PayPal only, which is normal stuff, right? Hey, Greg, you still in here? You still in here, Greg?
I'm still
Okay. Just making sure. And this guy bids. I got pretty much what I wanted for it. And next thing you know, he's like, hey, it won't let me put in my PayPal info because I have a Dominican Republic address. I'm like, hello? I said lower 48. And he replies back, well, what's that?
Oh, good.
I'm just like, okay. He wanted to like send me some cashier's check or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I had to relist it, and I got it worked out. I ended up getting it sold right away. But I see PDI in here. Yeah, the bands are crap right now. I did make some contacts. Ooh, somebody popping up a cold one there.
That's what it sounds like.
No, that's actually just me hitting my antenna switch. I kind of moved the mic over there so you can hear me flip my antenna switch.
Sure sound like a Budweiser to me.
As long as it wasn't a Bud Light.
Or Bud Light, yeah, exactly.
Real quick, what kind of microphone are you running?
This one here, I'm running the RE27.
RE27. I did notice the highs there a little bit on that. I couldn't tell if I know you said you had an electro voice, but I couldn't remember which one.
I have both the RE20 and the 27. So I was running the RE20 on the 7700, and then so I decided there was a rebate thing that I had from DX Engineering, which is only about 15 miles away from me. So I like DX Engineering. I can just order stuff and pick it up within an hour. But they had that Heil microphone that was used by Tim Allen in Last Man Standing. So I kind of said, you know what? Since I have the 7700, I got to make it look just like that radio. So I ended up getting that microphone for that radio.
Pretty cool.
How does it sound? I'm just not a Heil fan, to be honest with you.
I haven't heard myself, so I can't tell you. But everybody else, when I check into the 40-meter new net, says I sound pretty good on it.
Okay. I don't know. They just seem very like Bose. Bose sounds. Everybody likes. A lot of people like Bose, but they're very EQ'd. I guess you can say they're very rolled off, which I'm not a big fan of. But that's just my personal opinion. But everybody has a different ear. Here's different stuff. And I'm finally actually working somebody else, N7DGK from Mount Vernon, Washington. Bose is hot in avionics. Yeah, I've used the Bose noise canceling headsets. They do wear on your ears after a while. I prefer the David Clarks. I know they're big, but they have a lighter version of the David Clarks when I did fly. And the Bose, they just seem a little bit cheap to me. The cheap plastic. The David Clarks, you could just throw them in your bag and not have to worry about them.
Yeah, I like the David Clark ones. I have the ones for when I fly the civilian helicopters. And then when I'm flying search and rescue for my other job, I have the Gentex helmet.
It's built in? Or do you have to put the earpieces in before?
No, the whole helmet has its avionics in it, so you can just throw it on and it's got everything in it.
I know
it's
a lot.
An HGU 56, the civilian version of it, though.
Nice. And I know a lot of guys. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
That use the David Clarks for NASCAR for production wise, for the RTS headsets for the cameras. So they seem to do pretty well.
No, I'm just curious. You said search and rescue. I used to be heavily involved in Civil Air Patrol. What search and rescue are you in?
With the Washoe County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, okay. Do you work with the Civil Air Patrol anymore, or they gotten too military?
I've never done Civil Air Patrol, but I just did our search and rescue. Because my primary job with the department is to take care of the radios. Mm-hmm. And my second job is to go fly and do airborne search and rescue.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, Greg, this was kind of not set up before. I just decided I was just going to come on real quick with Dana and chat with him real quick about our experience with the ground, which I'm going to make a video later. But Greg, I appreciate you coming on with us And,
Hey, anytime.
Greg.
especially getting on SonoBus, you sound really good. You got it dialed in really nice. I hope
Well,
I sound
thank
pretty
you.
good to you. I'm just giving you a raw aux feed out, so it's probably just kind of dull sounding.
Well, you sound perfectly fine. I got this dialed in thanks to your help, Mr. Audio Engineer Extraordinaire.
But I appreciate you jumping on. We got to try this again. I'm going to take Dana out to lunch if he wants to go to lunch right now.
Oh,
All right, awesome. Hopefully your weather's good.
Twist my arm.
We're going to have Mongolian.
Oh, I love Mongolian.
Ends. Oh, hold on a second here. Before we go, we're going to look at somebody's webpage. Somebody wants to show off their webpage, and it's not Colin. VK5 COL. And you guys can all follow along too. We got to get you set up with SonoBus too, Greg, one of these days. So you actually get a preview video.
That'd be fun.
Oh, this isn't you. Lake Stevens, Washington. Did I put that in there right? Yeah. What do we got going on here? I think I made contact with this guy before. Let's take a look. Before let's do this so I don't lose his page. My logbook. I think I want to say I made contact with him. No, I guess I didn't. I've seen this page before. What are we looking at here? He's got a lot of what are we looking at, Mr. Travis?
What kind of radio does he have?
Profile picture. He has it on his wheel? That's a little distracting.
No, that's cool. I like that. That's awesome.
That's got to be just when he's sitting there because he has the wires coming down. I don't know if you can see that, Greg, but
I don't know if you call that,
maybe I should try that with my
is that
KX3.
You think that's hands-free?
well, it might be until he gets in an accident and then the airbag behind. Looks like someone said that right there. The airbag goes off. That's probably not the safest of things. My guess is he's just doing it when he's in the park or something like that.
Speaking of that, since Hot August Nights is this weekend, I thought about taking the Yaesu or the 705. Actually, more than likely the 705 and putting it in the back of the truck while he was sitting at the parking lot at Hot August Nights and throwing up the buddy pole and trying to make HF contacts.
Interesting. That sounds like fun. I talked to that buddy pole guy the other day, by the way.
Yeah? What do you think of it?
No, I physically talked to him on the air. I think it was the buddy pole guy. He's in Reading or something like that. Does that sound right?
I don't know.
He was on the air. It's a 4-letter call. He was on a bike, I think. But anyways, we used the buddy pole in Florida when I was there last October with Seth, N2SPG. Worked out pretty well, although he had a little problem with his computer at the time. I think his ALC was up too high or something like that. We're also going to try to get Dana on. I'm gonna shut off FT8 right now. We're going to try to get Dana on FT8. I don't think he's an FT8 guy.
Not yet. I do FT4 in satellite. But
You do FT4?
On satellite.
On satellite?
Yep.
Now that's interesting. I haven't tried that. I could do that with a 9700, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Well, when the bands start to die in October, maybe I can experiment around with that.
Sure.
I got Mac Doppler set up in here, which I paid for, so I don't know if I want to pay for another.
RS44, folks. Do FT4. It works really well.
You'll be the coolest Terminator. Yeah, have that thing in your chest. All right, so we're gonna. All right, cool. All right, Ryan, you guys take care. I'm gonna get out of here myself. Actually, ourselves.
Yep.
We're gonna go get some Mongolian after I get washed up a little bit here, and I'm gonna be back tomorrow night. It might be a drinking night tomorrow night too, for me. Once every 6 months. So, once again, Greg, thank you very much for joining us here this afternoon.
Yeah, Greg.
For you guys there on the East Coast.
Me.
And we got to do it again. I appreciate it. Giving us some info, giving Dana some info maybe on getting the 7610, which I don't think he's going to get the 7851. I think at least I'm not going to get it.
Well, the 7610 is going to be the closest to the 7851. It's just you don't have the extra 100 watts and the different filters. But other than that, it's close enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I need the extra 100, to be honest with you.
Depends.
But you always don't need it. It's a wanting thing. Right? And I see Scott in there.
Yeah,
Scott will be on tomorrow night.
I've worked KO4PI. He comes online and tries to get on the space station and the other things. So he's been doing that a lot lately. I haven't seen him on the Tebble satellites yet. And Tebble is really easy to hit. So if you guys have heard the new satellites out there, Tebble 1 through 8, I think 1's gone and 8's gone, but all the others are around. And today they have several of them on, and they're great, easy satellites to hit. And get yourself going. Tevel. Tevel.
Tevel, not Tevel.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry for my elementary question here because I'm not too familiar with the satellite system, and I understand satellites and how they work because I use them at work. Well, I don't use them, but you transmit to them.
Sure. He looks
So
at
you say when they're gone, does that mean they fall out of orbit?
Yeah, somehow will deorbit.
Or they run out of power, or
They're deorbit and they fall back to Earth and they disintegrate.
that's unfortunate. How long do they last for?
It depends. I mean, we just lost EO88. We just lost. Absolutely. I didn't really help them much, but we're going to do core drilling next time. Whatever it takes, we're going to get that ground rod in there. You might hear an earthquake around Greg's area because whatever it takes, we're going to penetrate that ground.
So yeah, that's unfortunate they fall out of orbit. And the other thing is, I've tried to hit them at night, but I realized that they run out of power sometimes during.
Well, some of them, like FO29 and some of the others are when they're eclipse. But Tevel, Tevel -1 through 8. They're all on the same frequency uplink and downlink, but they are following each other. And so what the gentleman does, David, he turns them on and turns them off when there's groups of them together. So you can get, like, I think it's 3, 5, and 7 right now that are good. And when they come by, it's a very simple linear satellite that you can get on with. You can use the HT. I've done it with an HT.
With a beam or just?
You could do, and just, regular old omnidirectional.
Really? So
antenna.
I'll be able to use the Comet upstairs.
Oh, easily.
Whatever,
easily.
Diamond, I think.
Yeah, I use my
X50.
GP15 when I'm not using my portable. But yeah, Tevel, Tevel -1 through 8. I think, like I said, 1 or 8's been deorbited, but they're pretty cool satellites. And I encourage people not just to do the FT8 and FT4, but I really think satellites fun too. That's the cool part about Greg being the ham radio ambassador of the world, is that he promotes all aspects.
And we did make an ISS contact, I believe,
Yes,
right?
we did.
One night.
Yes, we did.
That actually was a little more difficult than I thought. So, but I appreciate everybody getting on the live stream and all the info that was given out today by Greg, and learning a little bit about the satellites and making my hernia hurt today.
Yeah, my neck's a little stiff too.
Trying to get that thing, trying to get my rod into the hard ground out there.
Yep.
It's like cement. You guys don't understand, if you're not from California, how decomposed granite works. And I was explaining to Dana a little bit out there. It's
like,
basically crushed rock.
It's like Quickcrete.
Yeah.
When you're putting, it looks like a concrete slurry that, like you said, then it just starts drying and hardening, and you've already got the crushed rock, so it's just like a Quickcrete.
That's why they made the adobe homes, with the dirt here in the the southwest of the United States. So, oh my goodness.
Hey, Andy.
We got Andy. Did you see the live stream from MRD last night? He made a whole live stream for you. Andy's in the house.
All right. Hey, Andy.
He's actually the ambassador, I think. He's on every single live stream or ham radio channel. So it's good.
So you have a doppelganger.
A what?
A clone.
A clone. Well, he in a different way. I don't get on every ham radio. I try to watch them. I watched MRD's last night. It was pretty good. I know. Andy does not like FT8. I don't know if he thinks it's fake ham radio or what. I kind of joke around and say it's fake ham radio. But
Well, I have to somewhat agree with Andy because you sit there and you go to bed at night and you come back in the morning and you've got 150 contacts.
no, that's not how you do it.
Yeah, that's
No, I manually do it.
Well, yeah, you're different, but a lot of
I
people.
don't want to know. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people just let it run and
No,
then
that's
know,
not-
Hey,
no.
I got 127 countries.
That's like cheating on your ham radio test.
That's right.
not cool.
Well,
So
you were in the bathroom. We don't really know what you're doing in there, but
I had 2 cameras on me.
oh, that's right.
I wasn't going to the bathroom. I can tell you that much. But anyways, you guys take care. Thanks again for Dana.
Thanks, everybody.
Real fake ham radio, but still ham radio. So you guys take care and have a good afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Take care.